What is up, everybody? D. Illa here. It is so important for this team to take a quarterback at pick number 3. Now, I know you've heard me talk about Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, comparing those two, but the guy that I want at pick number 3 is SHEDEUR Sanders. I want him over those two, no ifs, ands, or buts. If it comes down to Carter or Hunter, yeah, I want Travis Hunter. If we did not take a quarterback at pick number 3, I have no interest in Jackson Dart. I haven't liked Jackson Dart. I haven't liked Jalen Milroe. Milroe's a good runner. Jalen Milroe really doesn't show me anything at the college level when it comes to throwing the football. Neither does Jackson Dart, man. Late round quarterbacks, more times than not, they do not work out. Yeah, those are late round quarterbacks because in any other NFL draft, they wouldn't even be considered in the first round. Come on, man. If we're not drafting SHEDEUR Sanders, what are we doing with this football team? Why did we re-sign Dexter Lawrence? Why did we make all these moves? Why did we bring in Javon Holland? Why did we bring in Bobby Okereke? Why did we bring in Paulson Adebo? All you people out there need to understand this fact, that if you draft a quarterback, it takes 2 to 3 years for that quarterback to fully develop into what you expect them to be. It's not just going to happen with the snap of a finger, a flick of a light switch. It doesn't happen that way. You can sit there and wish it to happen that way, all you'd like, but 9 times out of 10, get it through your head. It's not going to work out as quickly as you would like it to. It takes time, just like everything else in life. Dexter Lawrence, prime example. You kick the can down the road, Dexter's going to be 28 years old this year. You wait to draft a quarterback next year, he's going to be 29 in November. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for here? And like I just said, it takes 2 to 3 years for your quarterback to develop. You're going to wait for your quarterback to finally develop, and then Dexter's going to be 30, 31 years old, and you expect him to still be Dexter Lawrence? Like, what are you people thinking out there? It make you people out here frustrate the living piss out of me when it comes to talking about these quarterbacks. And why you people don't like SHEDEUR Sanders, the guy is accurate all over the field for the most part. Yeah, he struggles sometimes with his deep ball, but he's not a bad quarterback. He's good enough to get you wins. And I know so many people out there want these quarterbacks that can be top 5 in the league, this, that, and the other. Step into reality, please. Was Eli Manning ever a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? Hell no. Never. He had good seasons where he played like a top 5 quarterback, mainly in 2011. But the majority of his career, man, he could never be looked at like a top 5 quarterback. You don't necessarily need that. You just need to get a guy in place that can play the game and make the throws that can move the sticks. That's it, man. And then build around him. But you continue to wait. All the young talent that you have on this team continues to get older. And then you're going to be sitting here looking around for a quarterback with a team that's got a bunch of expiring contracts. I don't know what people are thinking out here, man. But again, I'm just a guy that's down here sitting with 400 subscribers. I mean, what the hell do I know? I'm only the Aboriginal Sports Network fantasy football champion. I don't know shit. You know, I won that league with the very last pick, and I traded away Bucky Irving. What the hell do I know? I don't know anything about anybody else. Nothing. That's why I deserve to have 400 subscribers, right? Because I don't know shit. But I'll tell you right now, start up a fantasy league, I'll get in it, and I'll make sure I come take your money. So you can find out exactly what I do know. Meanwhile, you know, you guys listen to everybody else who has thousands upon thousands just putting out all these bullshit ideas that make absolutely no sense. Talking about, well, why would you draft Deonte Banks and then come back 2 years later and draft a guy like Travis Hunter? Because you can never have enough corners, that's why. Does that make sense to you after I say it? It kind of goes along the same lines of you can never have enough pass rushers, you can never have enough good corners. Especially guys that can be your legit number 1 corner. And I think we all know at this point in time, Banks couldn't catch a damn bus. He's terrible at making plays on the ball. There's so many pieces on your secondary. Paulson Adebo, we don't even know if the guy's going to stay healthy. And then when it comes to Abdul Carter, all you people last year try to tell me that this defensive line was going to be so dominant, we were going to have this great pass rush, and that was with Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and Kayvon Thibodeau. Now all of a sudden, those 3 guys are not good enough. A lot of you people said that to me out there last year. Told me I was wrong when I was telling you we didn't have the secondary to get it done. I literally sat here and told you and made a video about how this defense last year in 2024 was going to be a carbon copy of the 2023 Philadelphia Eagles. Hell, I even said in the video that we couldn't even be the Philadelphia Eagles defense from 2023 because they had a top 10 rushing defense. We couldn't even be that. Even though I compared us to them, we still didn't have a strong enough unit up front to be them in terms of stopping the run. because of Thibodeau, because of Burns, told me I was wrong. Now all of a sudden, you need one more pass rusher because you don't have faith in those guys. One more season later. Explain this to me. There's so many people that talk New York Giants football that are so freaking ass backwards, that do not follow through with anything that they say. They want to talk about something a year prior, and then the following year, they just want to completely throw that out the window like they didn't say it at all. But then a person like me, a fan of the New York Giants, I always think about the future when it comes to this football team, because I know the upcoming year isn't what it's about. It's a part of the building process, because that's when the true difference is going to take place. Not this year coming up, most likely not next year. It may be 3 years from now. If you're trying to win football games right now and you think this team is somehow going to get to the playoffs and do something that's going to completely blow your mind come playoff time, like I can't even begin to help you or give you answers, because you're legitimately lost. As a fan of the New York Football Giants, you are legitimately lost. I mean, just think about all the things that we have to deal with on this football team right now. Jermaine Illuminor, how much longer is he going to be on this team? Are you going to extend him? You know, he's not exactly a spring chicken himself. Bobby Okereke, what are you going to do with him? Kayvon Thibodeau, what are you going to do with this fifth-year option? What if he's not on this football team anymore? There's so many pieces on this team that might not even be here next year. But then you hear me say that and you're like, well, that's the reason why we need to draft Abdul Carter. No! You need your freaking quarterback. That's what you need. And I'm telling you right now, considering Dex is getting ready to be 28, and I know every single time I start to talk about this, man, people just tune me out. But eventually you're not going to be able to tune me out when it comes to talking about this. Because if you keep on kicking this QB can down the road and Dex starts to get to be 28, 29 years old, guess who you're going to be using instead of draft capital to go get your quarterback? Because the last thing that you want to do in a draft is take a leftover QB. And when you bring a guy like Russell Wilson in, Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, he could get you in that 10 to 15 range, and don't think that he can't. If you stick and pick, you're just taking leftovers from the QB class in 2026. You're not necessarily taking your guy. And this is something I have been talking about for years on this channel. Take the quarterback that you want. Don't take the guy that you are forced to. If you stick and pick, that's exactly what's going to happen. So your only option, if you do not take SHEDEUR Sanders this year, is to trade up and mortgage a shit ton of assets for this football team that they could use to build the team into the future. And that is not smart at all. Tell me how that's smart. And that's exactly why they would trade a guy like Dexter Lawrence. You're just too stupid to realize it. If we're sitting 10 to 15 in the 2026 draft, do you really think a new GM is going to give away all of his draft capital to go get his quarterback? Or is he going to look at the vets on this team, which aren't too many that have significant trade value? How many of them are there? Andrew Thomas, Dexter Lawrence, Malik Neighbors. Those are your three right there. You think that new GM's not going to look at Dexter Lawrence and be like, okay, well, this guy's going to make God only knows what over the next 2 years. Do I really want to get rid of all my draft capital? Or do I want to get rid of the aging veteran on my team that has substantial trade value? No, he's not going to give up his draft capital. He is going to trade the aging vet because he's getting ready to be 29 next year. And most likely from 29 up, his skills are going to continue to diminish. You understand now? Have I broken it down good enough for you? Did it click? And if it works out that way, don't be surprised by it. I didn't tell you so. You draft SHEDEUR, you still got a shot at doing something with this football team as is with Dexter Lawrence still on it. You wait another year, the chances of Dexter Lawrence being a part of this team and doing something great with this football team, the chances get slimmer and slimmer every single year. So yeah, New York Giants, yeah, fan base, continue to push that we pass on SHEDEUR at pick number 3. And by next year's time, you may see your beloved Sexy Dexy being traded away because you passed on SHEDEUR, a player that you could have obtained with one single pick. Now you gave up Dexter Lawrence and you gave up additional draft capital, or you give up a shit ton of draft capital and Dexter Lawrence still remains on the team as he continues to get older and he's taking up a bunch of cap. Tell me. I bet you can't. The damn fan base is so fucking lost out here, man. You guys say one thing and then turn around and say something completely different the next. Day by day, year after year. Nothing stays consistent. Not never.